welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me on this makeup look. And I'm going to be using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette to do this eye look. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel, helps me out a lot. And let's get on with the video. First off, I'm going to start by clipping my hair back. Take the hair out of the face. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start with the eyes. I like to start with the eyes because I get a lot of fallout. I'm very messy with my eyeshadow. So instead of having to fix up my makeup, I'll do my eyes first and then do my makeup, and then it pretty much all comes together and it's like, anyway. So I'm going to be using my favorite. I use it all the time. I don't think I use anything else. And it's the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And I'm just going to get my Zoeva. Here guys. So I'm just going to get my Zoeva Concealer Buffer. And I'm just going to put that on my eyes. So this one will cover all of my veins because I have really veiny eyes and, well, veiny eyelids. And I just love this because it just cancels out all that colour and gives me a nice good base to start my eyes. Now I'm going to set that in place with the RCMA No Colour Powder. This is my favourite powder to use. It's especially good for dry skin, dehydrated skin, because it doesn't actually dry out the skin that much. Whereas I've got the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and that's more for oily skins. I use that a lot on my oily clients because it seems like it lasts longer, and I bake with that too. I bake with the No Colour Powder for dry skin. Yeah, I don't know. My skin is very dry, so I don't want to put anything that's going to dry up my face any more than it already is. Okay, I think I put a little bit too much on there. Talking away here, putting too much on. Okay. I'm just gonna brush all that excess powder away. Okay, so the palette I'm going to be doing an eye look today with is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. So I haven't used this much, as you could probably tell, because I just never reach for it, I guess. I don't know, it's just one of them palettes that it's raved about so much and you really want to get it, so you buy it, and then when you get it, you're like, I like my other eyeshadow palettes better. So I'm going to try and do something like not too dramatic and not too natural, like in between, I think. We'll try. Who knows how it's going to turn out, but oh well. We will try our hardest, I promise. We'll try. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the color Georgia, which is that color right there, and that is going to go into my crease. This is just going to be a light color. I like to build up colors, so this you probably can't see, but it helps in the long run for the blending, to blend out all of the colors to make it seamless. Okay, so next color that I'm going to get is probably the Candied Peach. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, but hopefully you can't see it that much. Okay, and that goes in my crease as well. Just blending windscreen wiper motions, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and the other eye. I'm going to go in with Puree, which is this one here, and tap off the excess, and that is going to go in I'm just going to try and keep it more to the outside, but blending it in. And that's still going to be in the crease. Windscreen wiper motions. And then I'm just going to like swirl it down onto my lid a bit. The E25 I'm going to get. And I'm going to pick up the Summer Yum colour, which is that colour just there. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm going to blend into the crease. Okay, so now I am going to pick up the colour Charmed, I'm sure, which is that top brown one, on that same E25 brush. And I'm going to be moving closer into the centre of my eye and towards the middle and back again, and then I'm just going to go up a little bit onto the crease just to try and blend that in a bit. The other side. And then I'm going to go back with my E27 Morphe brush and just windscreen marker wipers back and forth in the crease just to blend it all together. So I'm going to darken it up a bit, so I'm going to grab that Charmed, I'm sure, again, and then a little bit of that Tempting colour over the top. I'm just going to layer it on top. And that will darken it up a bit. Okay, and back to some blending. Okay, so now I'm just going to get a flat brush just like this, and I'm going to pick up the colour Luscious, which is this shimmery shade right here. Just taking a little bit on my, and I'm going to be just flicking it onto the inner corner and then brushing it onto the lid like that. And then I'll pick up the E25 brush and get both the Charmed, I'm sure, and Tempting, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner and then kind of like dip and drag sort of movements in, and that'll blend the shimmer into the darker colour. I'm doing it to the other side. I'm going to use some micellar water, and I'm going to clean up underneath my eyes. So what I like to do is I throw it, you can use a tissue, it doesn't matter, fold it in half so it's a nice straight line, and go under it and up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is a little tiny one. I'm not going to do a big dramatic one or anything. I'm just going to follow where I cleaned up. So it gives me a good line to start with. I'm using the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper, which is just a black. And then filling in that space. Okay, that's good enough. I'm having a bad eyeliner day. I'm leaving it. I'm going to put lashes on anyway. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to start with my face. So I'm going to moisturise first, which I should have moisturised before I done my eyes, but I'm going to use the Skin Institute Moisture Defense Normal Skin Moisturiser, just a little tiny bit and rub it into my skin. Because like I said, my skin is really, really dry. So using the moisturizer underneath actually helps, because the foundation I'm going to be using today is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and that is really, really drying on my skin. So with me putting my moisturizer, then my primer, and then that on top, it usually turns out good and it doesn't feel so stiff on my face. Okay, so the primer I'm going to be using today is the Marc Jacobs Invisible Undercover Perfecting Coconut Face Primer. So this is my favorite hydrating primer. I've got the Hangover one, but I feel like this one just does so much better. It is a little bit more pricey though. I'm just gonna put it just a little bit on my hand and just dab it in and then just rub it in with my fingers. On client, I use a brush, but on my face, I don't need to. So I'm going to be using my beauty blender. I don't have a pump for this, so I'm going to just pour it onto my beauty blender and then press it into my skin. The color that I am using is 2N1 Desert Beige. And this seems to be perfect neutral color for me, because I'm more neutral than I am yellow, than I am pink. Just neutral. And I have no tan on, so this is a good color for me. So I'm just going to dot it on a little bit more. Dot it on my face and then stipple it in. I like to blend my foundations into the ear and down my neck. Just so it's blended and there is no way I can get that mask looking thing. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Soft Brown and a 317 wing liner brush from Zoeva. I like it because it is very thin and you can get nice little strokes on it. So I'm going to get a little bit out on my hand with a cotton tip. Put it on the back of my hand and I'm going to work it in around to warm up the product, and that helps it so much more distribute it better and evenly and not so heavy either. So now I'm going to carve out my brows using the Shape Tape in Light Medium and a concealer brush F75 Sigma. And I'm going to start from the outside again using most of the product there and then working my way in. Okay, and so now the top, I do the front first. I didn't dip it back in, I just used whatever I had on the brush. Okay, so now I'm going to conceal my under eyes and my forehead. So I'm going to be taking the color Light Sand to highlight underneath my eyes. I like that really bright highlight underneath the eyes. And then blend it in. And then I like to set it straight away with that RCMA No Colour Powder with a sponge, and I bake. So I'm going to just be putting that underneath and baking. And baking. So while that's baking, I'm going to highlight my forehead and down my nose. And then I'm going to get my big Morphe M400 brush and get some of that No Colour Powder. Click a little bit off and put it, set my face and wipe away that bake underneath your eyes. If you have dry skin, I don't like to leave that bake on for too long, or it'll sort of dry out your under eyes a bit. So now I'm going to do underneath with the Sweet Peach palette. I'm going to take this brush from e.l.f. It's like an under eye brush, but a fluffier one, but still enough to get underneath. I'm going to get that Candied Peach colour and put it underneath and do that windscreen wiper motion, back and forth on the other side. And then getting that Puree colour on the same brush and keeping it more to the outer edge, placing that colour there and then blending that in. Then I'm taking the Morphe E43 brush, it's more of a definer brush, and taking that Tempting colour and placing that just on the outside of my eye and pressing it down my ears. And then picking up that brush again from e.l.f. and blending that all in. So, and then I'm going to put some mascara on. I'm going to use the Veryl by Benefit. And putting on some blushes. The blushes I'm going to be using are my own brand. And they are just fluffy, thicker on the outside, thin on the inside. They're so pretty. I only use these for my clients and me. I don't actually sell them. And placing them on top. Time for some contouring. I'm going to be using the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. And I'm going to be using this colour right here for my contour. And then I'm going to get my handy little sponge and just underneath that corner of my mouth I'm going to bake underneath for my contour, just to define it a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to be going on to bronzing, and I will will use the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. And I'm just going to use my Morphe E52 brush to do that. So I just like to put a little bit of colour back into my face. So on my forehead. And just underneath my chin. This also like helps to contour a bit more because I get a bit of a double chin, so this acts like a shadow, like contouring I guess, and bronzing me up just a little bit. I'm going to use my Tarte Colour Wheel Amazonian blush palette, and I'm going to, I'll go with I'll probably use Mod, which is just that one just there, and I'll just use the angled contour brush that I used before, and I just like to put it on the apple of my cheeks and then blend it back. Later I'm going to use one from my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. And I'm going to use a fan brush by Kit Cosmetics, the Kit highlighting brush. And I think I'll go with the summer colour. And it is a big colour. Line my lips with Chi from Colourpop. And using Honey Love by MAC, I'm going to filling them in. Now I'm going to give it a spritz with the Skindinavia makeup finishing spray, the bridal one. And we are done. So here is the finished